and the song I perform is titled Remember Who You Are. I wrote Remember Who You Are as sort of a reminder to not get lost in whatever it is you're doing, whatever fills your life, whether it's like your job, whatever you do to be productive. And especially as a woman, I feel like there's so many roles that we play, whether that looks like, working, being creative, being at home and like having to also take care of other people. We're doing the most at all times, and sometimes we end up forgetting who we are. We are accustomed to being strong, but you're also not only strong, you're also soft, you are also expressive, and so many other different things. And this song is just a reminder to always remember that you are not what you do, and you need to constantly remind yourself who you are and not get lost in whatever it is you're doing.
Watching you from across the street, trying to make ends meet, is the most heartbreaking thing I've ever had to see. Watching you give your soul, give your body away to all these people who don't know you are a gem in the sky. Who don't know who you are. Baby, I know it's hard, but remember who you are. Remember who you are.
Hi everyone, my name is Chimango Chirwa and I'm going to be answering a few questions for you today. I am a counseling psychologist as well as a mental health advocate. I am the founder of Mental Pulp. It's a mental health campaign and you can check us out on Instagram. I'll give you those details a little bit later. And you can follow our website www.mentalpulp.org. So, I'm here to answer a few questions on women in mental health on behalf of Artivism. It's a project centering the issues women experience in regards to mental health and just trying to shed a light on that. So, let's get started. So the first question is, in your professional opinion, how different are women's mental health issues from men's? First of all, women are emotional beings. As compared to men, they are more physical. And it's not to say that women can't be physical or men can't be emotional. It's just heightened in each gender, respectively. So because of that emotional characteristic, women are more susceptible to anxiety and depression. This characteristic allows women to internalize their emotions, whereas with men, that physical characteristic enables them to externalize. And the difference within that is that because we internalize our emotions, the resulting behavior from that is usually withdrawal or depression or eloping. And when I say eloping, I mean running away from problems or running away from situations. Whereas with men, because they externalize their emotions, it causes them to have more aggressive behaviors, such as suicide. Okay, not suicide as such, but such as depression, yes, which most likely results into suicide, is what I would meant to say, and substance abuse behaviors and addiction, for example. So that's one of the main differences in our mental health issues. Let's go to the next question. It says, what remedies exist for women to address issues of mental health? A lot of remedies exist. For example, personal therapy, where a woman can seek help from a mental health professional, whether that's a counselor, a mental health counselor as well, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whoever that may be. They can seek personal therapy, individual therapy with that person, and just get a different perspective on the challenges that they're facing. Just an outside voice. And another way is definitely support groups or group therapy with other women. The great thing about such support groups is that you have a common interest, or a common characteristic. And in a women's support group, that would mean, or that would be, that you are all women. So it's most likely that another woman is experiencing something you've experienced, maybe in a different degree or a different time in their life. But to hear other stories being shared is always refreshing, because you realize you're not the only one, and you're not the only woman going through or experiencing such challenges or such changes in their life. Another way, definitely, I always advocate for this, is self-care. Take care of yourself. I feel like women, we take on so much all the time, be it that we have families or other responsibilities. We always have things going on in our lives. So it's important for you to take time to yourself and think about what you need and what you want to do. So that could be anything. It could be getting your nails done. It could be getting your hair done. It could be reading a book. It could be going shopping, retail therapy. Okay. It could also be just drinking tea or having that glass of wine and sitting and thinking and just relaxing. But doing whatever it is that you want to do in that moment is an act of self-care, because you're caring for yourself in that moment, and not the responsibilities at work or school or home or whatever else it may be. The next question, it says, what barriers do women face when accessing mental health services? In the African context, I think the main barrier is stigmatization. There's a lot of stigma around mental health still. Of course, conversations are being had slowly, are being introduced, and that's great, but the stigma still exists within our communities and within our societies, and I feel like that's one of the main barriers. I feel like with women specifically, we are dismissed when we're feeling unwell, or when we're feeling not our best that day, or not ourselves that day. I feel like it's overlooked because we're women. We're being too emotional, or maybe we're PMSing. It's almost our time, or we're pregnant. And I just feel like such assumptions are linked to our emotional challenges, and I don't think it's really fair to make such assumptions. That's also what I feel is a barrier, the misconceptions of women's emotional problems or emotional challenges. They're automatically linked to hormones or challenges that women have to go through. So the misconceptions as well is a huge barrier. I can also say that just the access to facilities is difficult. I can't really speak on right now I'm currently in Kenya, but I can't really speak on the services here. I feel like they're quite affordable, but in Malawi it's quite difficult to get affordable, consistent mental health care. I feel like financial burdens are also a barrier as well. So it's something that, of course, we're developing. I know people who do provide services at a very fair rate, but I know why most women or why most people don't continue is because they hit a bump in the road financially. Yeah. Um, the next question, and it's actually the last, oh no, is how can we elevate um, these barriers, the barriers that we just talked about? How can we lift these barriers to um, women accessing mental health services? What can we do about that? Um, like I said, I feel like the main problem is stigma. So, what we can do about something like that is have these conversations more and have this dialogue, whether it's with your mother, for example, or your sister, or your cousin, or your grandma, or your neighbor, or your friends. It's important to build that dialogue about mental health so it's not abnormal or it's not awkward to talk about what you're feeling and what you've been going through. So the normalization of mental health conversations needs to happen. It's just important for people to know that everybody has a mind, therefore everybody can think, and everybody can overthink, and everybody can get a little crazy up there. And crazy doesn't mean mental, it means overwhelmed, it can mean anxious, it can mean stressed, it can mean so many things. And I just feel that we need to normalize that. Another thing is to just, if we were to normalize these conversations, it would also correct the misconceptions of mental health, especially in regards to women. I know men have their challenges as well, but this is all about women. So especially in regards to women, especially in regards to women, just to correct that notion that, oh, she's hormonal, you're PMSing, are you on your period? It's actually something I, believe it or not, used to say a lot, like, girl, stick a tampon in it. And then I remember my friend was like, Chima, I'm trying to talk to you. I want you to hear me. I want you to get to understand my point. I'm trying to get my point across to you. And it's not about that. I'm hurt. This is how I'm feeling. And when she said that, I was like, wow, I mean, why would I just assume her expressing herself is linked to her period or her hormones? That's not fair to do. So such misconceptions that are lightly joked about or lightly shared should be corrected and should be changed. And it takes such conversations. And yeah, that's about it from me. The last thing I just want to share or emphasize is that everyone deserves to be heard. Everyone deserves to have a voice and to express themselves. And it's just our jobs as individuals to listen. It doesn't take much to listen, and even if you think it's not doing anything or it won't help, it actually does. So just open up your ears and give that person a chance to say what's on their mind or to share what challenges they've been experiencing. Yeah, so that's it for me. Please check out Mental Pulp's Instagram at _mental pulp. Thank you.